The Other Green Overdrive. This ODR-1 is a secret weapon among many people in Nashville, a lot of session players, a lot of very famous guitar players as well who love this particular pedal because it's quite unique. Unfortunately, some people think that this is actually the Tube Screamer. The two are completely different. I thought it might be fun to do a few things. One of them is run through this particular pedal and also my particular take on that. So I love these ODR-1s. It's not been a big secret. I did the Underdog a while back, which is loosely based on the 3-band version of this. And then that became part of the Paisley Drive Deluxe after Brad Paisley loved that particular pedal. This is one of those pedals that have always been on my personal board, but there's a few changes I've always liked to do to these to make it kind of my own. So what you see here on the screen is called a spectrum analyzer. It's just pink noise basically running through my DAW out into the pedals, back into my interface, into a different channel. That way I can kind of see what a flat frequency response is going to do to a pedal. Now that's not exactly like what you're going to have with a guitar pickup, but it is a useful tool to kind of see roughly what's going on. So first of all, let's take a look at the Tube Screamer to see what that frequency does. Now, keep in mind, as we move knobs, everything's going to change. So I'm going to kind of start at a neutral place with both. As you can see, it gets quite a bit more mid-rangey, right around the, well, technically right around the 723 Hertz area. But yeah, that's what it's intended to do, and that's what it does. Let's move the tone knob around a bit. So that's the Tube Screamer. Now let's check out the ODR-1 and see how that compares to it. Quite a bit different, as you can see. Much more flat. It doesn't have that big peak there at 800. Now let's check out the spectrum control, which is the tone control, because it's a really unique tone control. It's actually boosting lower mids and highs at the same time and cutting. So as you can see, completely different frequency response. So the frequency analyzer is fun, but not quite as fun as playing through guitar. So I'm using my Whitfield Telecaster here, and my clean tone through my Bravado amp sounds like this. So as you can see, it's a lot flatter than what you'd have in a Tube Screamer type of pedal, which is way more mid-humpy, of course. With this one, you have the spectrum control, which is going to take that low mids and the highs and boost it up. In fact, with the gain downs, where a lot of the Nashville session players who use this pedal, they kind of like to ride that little bit of gain right where it's just starting to break up and get just a nice little clean, but yet still a little crunchy, dirty tone. And of course, higher gain is a great sound as well. Different though, and I'll show you a little bit more about why I did the changes on the Belle regarding this in just a second. So just a fun all-around overdrive, completely different than the Tube Screamer. I think the color throws a lot of people off because they're both green, and apparently we associate green overdrives with Tube Screamers. So let's talk about the Belle a little bit and why I created it. As I said before, I'm a gigantic fan of the Nobels type of circuit. What I don't like doing is exact one-for-one clones. I like to put my little spin on things if I'm going to do a clone. So for this example, one of the things I did, you notice when I turned the gain up, it got a little bit boomy at the bottom. So I added a control where you can kind of dial that out. I also added a switch on the side, which is going to kind of change the compression, the clipping structure of it just a bit, and kind of make it a little bit more open if you like that sort of thing. So comparing the Belle to the ODR-1, if you have the bass all the way up and you have the switch on the side all the way out, so it's not in, it's out, that would be a lot more like the stock ODR-1 topology. Here's the Belle. As I said before, when you turn up the overdrive, it does get a little bit boomy on the bottom. So let's mess with the bass control and I'll show you how we take that out. And then with the switch on the side, we'll sort of change the compression a little bit, change the clipping a little bit. But I like having the added controls because it kind of gives you a little bit more control over what you're trying to do. I'm running my gain down low. I'm going to keep my bass up quite a bit. As I roll the gain all the way up, I'm going to roll the bass back just a bit to sort of compensate so it's not quite as boomy. Let's try a different guitar here. I have another Whitfield, but this is the scale of a Les Paul. Same set neck, just like a Les Paul. So I call it my Les Paulicaster. So here we go with the same setting, bass down, gain all the way up. Now with the switch in, again, it's going to change the compression a bit. To compare it to my clean tone with this guitar. So that's the Belle Overdrive, available exclusively right now with Sweetwater and Thomann. I hope you like my tribute to one of my favorite overdrive pedals of all time, the ODR-1. Make sure you check it out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.